All right. What's up, traders? Today is Wednesday, I believe. Today's Wednesday, and sadly, there's not a lot of movers this pre-market. But we got a couple of movers worth chatting about, worth talking about for today. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting day. Uh, let's see what movers are on YouTube for pre-market prep. Yeah, we had a mover yesterday that moved really nicely, which was AURC. AURC made around, I don't know, like 11. We put from like 20 to like 40, which is huge. And now we're just gapping down to like 27. So that is the main mover that moved a bunch. So we're gonna talk all about it after this video. Yeah, so that's the best mover so far. You can see AURC there. Let's see, we can AURC is probably the best mover so far. How big am I gonna get? That's pretty good. Let's see. AURC. It's a good one. AURC. Ooh, AULT. AURC. There it is. Sorry about that. AURC right there. So that's all linked up. Let's see. Gamble. So yeah, today, the watch list for today is pretty simple. Sadly this morning we had like one mover if I were gonna pull up the scan, which was AULT that moved this pre-market. So AULT is the only one that moved this pre-market from around 8 o'clock. $4 up to 480. So AULT does indeed have news. So this is the only ticker that actually moved up this pre-market, which is kind of not that exciting. Not that exciting at all. Usually you have a bunch of pre-market movers, but right now I think people they don't really want to wake up and trade pre-market. I think it's summer. So that's how they've been trading so far. Let's see if we can get my Bulldog warrant. There it is. There's the level 2 there. Warrant. Get my level 2s all set up. Electra. There we go. All right. So, pretty interesting day. You had this mover AULT that popped up in the morning from like $4 up to 490. So that's the only pre-market mover so far. The next mover was, man, we're under VWAP. Seems like this ticker had really good earnings. I mean this ticker is a 1 milli float, so you might want to put it on your scan just in case we get going. You never know what can happen at the market open, whether we're going to see volume or not. Well, so far we're just holding 4. It's around here somewhere. So I do have that on the scanner. So the main mover that moved this moved yesterday was a
Marco.
AURC, WRNT, AWN, AULT, EB. So this mover AURC, let's see, EBT just popped up over there. Strategic alternatives, no position. Just gonna watch. So the make mover AURC. AURC was yesterday's mover. You can see we went up from $15 up to $40. And I was thinking of taking a first red day short. Excuse me. Morning stuff. I was thinking of taking it this one as a first um first red day short, but we're kind of closed at around 33, and we're just way above that. Way too far to take that as a first red day short. Let me see. Simo was up 82%. So far, the URC was yesterday's biggest mover, 15 up to 40. And I saw this one throughout the whole day, and it gave a couple double tops at around 40 multiple times. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple tops at around 40. And soon enough, we just dumped into the pretty much close. So we're now into the 30s. So ARC, I think everybody's watching because that did a pretty nice move. Oh, all right. So we continue on to the watch list. So you had AURC, AULT. That was this pre-market mover with good earnings. I didn't really buy this one. EBET, just hitting my scanner. No position on that one. EBT, review of strategic alternatives. No position, but I do see a big volume pop. EBT, volume pop. Okay, move. So this is a very interesting chart. EBT just blowing up there. No position. Uh, strategic alternatives. This is not really a great news. So I'm gonna skip it, but I do see the volume there. They're just turning the shares. Um, but it's a higher float as well. So I think I'm gonna probably skip that. I'm just gonna keep it on a watch. So you had ARC, TRC here, just that's low volume. STRC low volume. Artificial Intelligence contract by Air Force Research Laboratory. That's interesting. Artificial Intelligence contract by Air Force Research Laboratory. STRC is definitely interesting there. What has happened a lot in this these pre-market movers is that they get a little bit of volume based on the news, and after that, it pretty much they sell off. So I'm not too excited to buy anything that's not on my watch list as I see these things in the pre-market. You can see we just develop a little candle, a little volume candle, and then it reverses. And soon enough, I'm not really interested in these movers unless we see huge volume and continuation and some 100% over. But um, so far AURC is our number one top mover here, and AULT is the first one, is the only one that gave really nice range this morning. Continue on with the watch list. You have WRNT. WRNT is this ticker. WRNT is day two continuation. We went over 524. We're above that area, 524. So this is an IPO. I didn't even see WRNT at all, to tell you the truth. I think we opened at around 140. We sold off. So mostly everybody from WRNT is pretty much green on this ticker from 4 to like 5. And so right now we're gapping up to 525. So this is a very clean chart, new chart. So you might want to put this one on radar because everybody's green on it, and it's an IPO, recent IPO. So just going through the top gainers, we got Simo, too high priced, AWIN. I actually put this on scan and on the watch list. This is the first green day bounce. Over 26. 26 cents here. Actually, this morning AWN was a nice mover, way more than I expected. We kind of came into this downtrend of 27, and soon enough, we broke the 27, 28, spiked to 42 this morning. So it was a very good benefit for those early risers to take advantage of this volume that we had. And a VWAP reclaim at 30 to 42, and that is a really big gain, a really nice percent gain for those people that traded at 740 up to 8 o'clock. So there was a 20-minute time block here in which you could have made 20-30% in AWN. So I continue to put AWN on scan. AWN is definitely on scan. So we are waiting for investors await Fed rate hike. So right now on the S&P 500 we are gapping down. We're gapping to about a point there, and um we're waiting for S&P 500 rate hike. Is it rate hike? Something like that. Rate hike. July 2023. So I think the rate hike is probably gonna be they predict a rate hike of being raised. So today I don't know what time. So we're rate hike schedule for 2023. So July 26th, we don't know if rates are going to be increased or decreased. So far, the volume is just not in the markets. Usually before a rate we are just not that excited. We see some ABVC here moving up. ABVC. Don't see a signs term sheet to acquire real estate assets for strategic investment. We're gapping up into the 6-ish. Yeah, I don't really like these. We go straight up with volume and then we go straight back down. So like I said, I have 4 tickers. The tickers were AURC because that was number one top gainer. AULT, I'm gonna keep that one on watch. WNT IPO continuation. I just saw that pop there. So we're gonna put WRNT just in case we break to that 560 in WRNT. There's that 560. So this is very interesting what's happening here. We have a nice downtrend break of WRNT. So potential push. Just gonna keep on watching this one. Look at that. That is just ugly. Look at that. In this candle went from 530 to 560. That's just a little bit too volatile for me. So, but I'm still keeping that one in watch just in case. So we're waiting for the Fed hike. So far, the market is going down based on this decision, and it's been an interesting day. SPY we're gapping down from 455 to 454. If I look at my pre-market scanner, oh, it seems like my pre-market scanner is pretty weak this morning. Pretty weak, and we don't have that many floats underneath 10 million. The only low float under 10 million is AULT and AURC, which I have them both on watch. WRNT, let me see, WRNT and WRNT somewhat. So not a lot to do here into this morning lack of plays. Gonna keep waiting until we're gonna get some movers. Sadly, I think people are not excited of the market. The market is not that exciting this time. That can change at any minute once we see that big mover. I believe that, we had ARC here. They went really big yesterday, and a lot of people are probably feeling a bit of FOMO here because they were awake and they missed this play, and they're going to be looking for something similar. I'm not sure what the float is in ARC because once we get a big mover like $15 up to $40, people are going to be like, hey, maybe I can find another float this small and make, double my money. So, or something like that. Or that's kind of like what I would be thinking if I was looking on top gainers on AURC. If I saw AURC yesterday as I was doing my nightly scan. So there could be some momentum on this floats, especially these floats underneath a million, because AURC it's a 500K float, so that's tiny float. So we're definitely gonna keep watching floats underneath 1 million. Sadly, the S&P 500 is going down. We're waiting for we're waiting for some Fed rate hike or 25 basis points or something like that, and it's gonna be interesting. As you can see, so here that in the morning we have a lot of pops and drops based on news here. So I kind of just avoid trading a lot in the pre-market. Pre-market has been very, you can see so here STRC another sell-off, EVT another sell-off. So being very mindful right now that during periods of low volatility and summer trading, these things have been getting news this morning, and they just pop and drop. So not really much to say. Uh, Not really much to say. ABVC. Yeah, ABVC is not bad. A 20 milli float. Uh, it's actually probably the most interesting out of the bunch. But I don't know if it's gonna go or not. That's probably ABVC. It's a 2 milli float. Oh, so I was wrong. ABVC is a 2 milli float. So this is could be a very similar. Um, this is a 2 milli float. ABVC is a 2 milli float, not a 20 milli float. Checked Finviz. So I mean, ABVC, AUR, so AURC was a half a milli float. So this ticker went up from 10 to 40, and ABVC is a 2 milli float that it's probably gonna get some attention. The news is signs term sheet to acquire real estate strategic investments. I don't know if it's gonna go. Your guess is as good as mine. It's holding VWAP so far. I mean, it does have volume, which is much better than the other one. 50,000 on the 1 minute is a lot better because if you look at WRNT, this thing is not even pulling 50,000. This thing is pulling 1,000. So look at this. WRNT, we're pulling 10,000 on the 1 minute. So ABVC, we're pulling 50,000 on the 1 minute. So that's a lot of volume coming in here. So ABVC is possible. Possible is gonna be the next AURC this morning, but you just never know if it will or not. You just gotta look at what's moving. You gotta look at your scanner. You gotta look at the market sentiment. And yes, we have a Fed meeting. So this ticker is definitely on watch. Probably due to the fact that it has volume. The other one's not that much volume. Look at the other ones. The other one's AULT. Look at AULT volume. Volume is like between 1,000 and 30,000 at tops on the 1 minute. That's very low volume. You need a stock to trade, and you need a stock to have volume, and you need to stock. And most people here are buyers, I believe, because they're thinking maybe it just goes to 8. Maybe they're thinking 8. Um, so being mindful of, see, and then it comes back down. So I didn't really take any trades. Just um just keep it on radar, guys. Your guess is as good as mine. I know you're all excited about the next AURC, but you just gotta yeah, I'm not gonna buy it unless we break out of this channel. And now we're just let's see if we break through that 560 there. 928. The market's about 920 right now. So in about 5 minutes, gonna put the midday scan. Uh, there's the 560. This is not bad. Once we get over 565, this could potentially get going. 565, 560, 561, 562. The first 1 minute to make a new high. Success. Is this gonna go? Potential. There we go. So it's kind of like I'm liking this, but I'm not ready to commit. I'm waiting for a bit something to happen. Something that will get traders excited to jump on it. And I think a break of 570 to 580 is going to get traders excited. And then they're going to spike it up to 640. Because so far it's just on VWAP, no man's land right now. And we have really nice volume on it, about 100K for that 1 minute, so it's in confusion zone. I know you're all excited to trade, but gotta stay patient. So far, I'm not feeling it. But if we start chasing, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of chasers. If it comes up to 560, 580, I mean, it's gonna have a magnet to 640. So, but that's kind of it. We don't have that many movers. We have AURC, we have AULT, possible VWAP reclaim. It's another low float. Um, we have WRNT, which is kind of breaking down somewhat, which is, yesterday's IPO. Actually, it's not breaking down. Actually, we're right at the support line, WRNT. And that is WRNT. I don't even know what the float is on that one. WRNT. The float's on that. This ticker is a 4 milli float. So we're kind of breaking down there. So no trades today so far. WRNT breaking down there. I think what you guys gotta do is wait for the Fed to release their rate hike thing. Because usually, if I try to push during a Fed day or something, I usually take losses because it's we're in no man's land. So despite the fact that we have a couple of movers that are less than half a million or whatever, or less than 5 million, we still have the Fed here that is just sucking up the liquidity of the markets. So in times of low liquidity, just wait. Stocks can be very moody with no volume. Stocks can be irrationally weak during the periods of low volume, and um, it's just gonna mess up your mess up your numbers because there's numbers that you can find during trading. It's not XPV. We just popped up from 15 to 17. XPEV, that's a 690 milli float. That's huge. But that actually has a decent news. So when I see this kind of move, so right now XPV, so right now what are you seeing here is that a lot of money is being popped into this higher floats. XPV. Gonna keep that on watch just in case we get over 1780 there. Volkswagen invests 700 million. That's an important news. So we're gonna watch if in case it breaks that 1770. I'm just watching. So it's important when stocks have an investment from Volkswagen. That's 700 million investment from Volkswagen XPEV. Um, so I'm gonna put that on the radar. That's for sure. Not really my greatest cup of tea, but I mean Volkswagen is Volkswagen. ABVC. There we go. So ABVC is our lowest float of the day. Let's see if this baby is gonna get over 560. Watching level 2, just hovering around 540. Let's see if we can get some movement. So let's see first. This is a nice, we're just breaking down the trend. We're holding VWAP. We got a nice trend going. Let's see if we break through 560 or 562. WRNT, we're pushing there. WRNT, we're pushing there a bit. We're watching WRNT, potential push over 560, the 520 to 540 there. So definitely I do like WRNT and I do like ABVC, but I just don't know which one is gonna go. I'm just looking at them. ABVC does have news. Investors, or let me see. Signs acquire real estate assets, ABVC. And the other one, WRNT, is just a continuation IPO. So I really don't know which one of the two is gonna go, but those, or maybe AULT is gonna go too. AULT is way below VWAP, so that's probably not gonna be the one. But you just never know what happens out of the gate. So we got like three movers, trying to figure out like which stock is going to follow the trend, because you have AURC here 15 to 40. I mean, people are going to look for something similar, or they look at AURC for continuation. VICR moving up in the pre-market. I have to remove that's a $70 stock. That's huge. So ABVC, we just chopping around, no movement, and kind of going down. WRNT, we're actually looking much healthier here. We just we did a fake out breakdown of the trend. We hold yesterday's high of 524, so the trend is intact. If we get over 555, that would be a continuation play. Yeah. I'm gonna not look at, and we also have AWIN, EURC, XPV is just trucking a bit there with the Volkswagen news. Look at that ABVC. Look at that XPV. This one's kind of trying to go here, but float's too big, so I'm gonna skip that one. That's a 600 milli float, so the most you can get is like 10 cents. So I don't think it's just gonna be worth my time in XPV. Who knows? We might go 18, but not feeling the XPV move. Think it could be overdone. It's a very thickly traded stock, even though it has to have Volkswagen news. So ABVC going straight down. Next ticker is WRNT, is the only one that Market just opened. Looking my midday scanner. 1 second. Midday scanner. Watching WRNT for a push over 560. 543 is opening range. Let's see. There we go. It's trying to push there. There we go. WRNT is pushing. WRNT is pushing. Whoa. WRNT is definitely pushing. I got long WRNT just now. Went long. There we go. WRNT is pushing. Small. Small. Let's see if hopefully I'm not gonna die here. WRNT. Got a starter. Risking 20 cents a share. So I just went long WRNT. Looking for a push over 590. There we go. There we go. WRNT. Waiting for a push over 590. There we go. My entry is, wow, that's a really high entry. My entry's too high. I think I chased it. That's not gonna go. That's not gonna go. That's a very ugly candle. Um, we need to break over 585. Stop is 550. That's hovering. We're hovering at around VWAP. There we go. We're bouncing off VWAP, WRNT. Come on, let's keep going. That's the one. That's a continuation push, and we just push and looks like we died. Looks like we definitely died. That's a death. Looks like a hard rejection of the pre-market high. Very hard rejection of the pre-market high. Uh, Midday scanner is on. EVC going now. Next trade. So let's see if we can put WRNT on my other scanner. WRNT, ABVC is pushing there. 1 sec. ABVC. So ABVC is just spamming my, let's long this one. First 1 minute to make a new high. Let's go long this one. ABVC. ABVC. Let's see how this one goes. So first 1 minute's make a new high, possible long 567. So ABVC, we went long 575 long ABVC 575 long. I'm cutting losses in WRNT. WRNT, I'm cutting losses at 550. I lost like 20 cents a share. That's the way the cookie crumbles. There we go. ABVC working. Yeah, I just didn't buy the right one. Seems like cutting losses in WRNT, still holding ABVC. That's the first 1 minute's make a new high. We're pushing towards $6 or 620. So they did not like day two continuation of WRNT. Sadly, I did take a loss. And hopefully I will make up my loss in ABVC. I don't know which one's gonna go. I just cut my losses quickly, and I'll let my winners ride. So right now we have ABVC, the only ticker above VWAP that is trying to break highs. ABVC is the number one top gainer. ABVC has a 2 milli float. Um, so we're watching the level 2 now to break 620. I'm long at 575, so I'm looking for at least 10% out of this. There we go. At least 10%. So I'm looking to sell at least 635. There's my exit. I'm gonna sell half. Selling half. ABVC right there. I'm gonna sell half. Oh, we're actually in a halt. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. ABVC looking good. So, let's see if we can get this going. Actually, I bought. Hold on a second. Give me a minute. So be- being stupid and buying, so I bought and I sold real quick at 640, selling some at 640, sold some at 640, waiting for 650 to sell the rest, selling 650 the rest, or 645, selling 645, selling all at 645. So that was a good long trade. It's going long at 570, out at 640. I sold some at 640, and selling some at 645. This candle's, I mean, who knows? We might get up to $7 for all I know. So I don't really want to take ABVC off the table. I'm still riding a fifth of my size. Actually, I have a third left in ABVC. ABVC, riding 1/5, 1/3 of position. So I don't want to really, I don't really want to take it all out just yet. This could break 545, and we could spike up to 7. I mean, that was a nice trade. 575 long with 630 out, so that was technically a 60-cent trade, despite my 20-cent loss in what is the other one that I traded and I lost on? Uh, WRNT. WRNT was a turd. I just chased it and I dumped it, I think at 547. So I kind of lost around 20 cents there. And so ABVC moved up. I still have a third in there. I think we're gonna break over this 645 there. Just my tingly mind says we're gonna break through 645, and we're gonna run up to possibly 7. So this is a dip buy opportunity for those people that missed this move. We're now above $6. $6 a round number. A lot of people are probably gonna start buying it around VWAP or around $6. And I believe we're gonna go back up. $6 must hold for me to stay in this position. We got some buyers. $6 gonna hold. Hopefully it will. I did take partial. $6 did not hold. We dip a big to VWAP. VWAP is 586. This is probably must hold. Must hold that VWAP. VWAP right now is 583 or 585. So if 585 does not hold, I'm just bailing. 585, I have my fourth out. If 585 does not hold, look out below because this one's rolling over. So this area must hold. We're just sitting there. If I see 580, I'm gonna cut it loose. We must hold this area. There we go, 590, 596, 597. We must hold this area. Otherwise, I'm just gonna cut my 1/3 out. We must hold and continue on to 640. There we go. There we go. ARMP is hitting my scanner. RP hitting my scanner. So there we go. So ABVC, we're holding the VWAP. Dish Networks is halted. Dish Networks is halted down. I'm not a big fan of Dish. I don't trade Dish. ABVC, we're holding the VWAP. We should push over 650. That is what I should be doing. So far, we're at all-time high volume. The volume is 10 million or 11 million. And so this is a very clean chart. We should, well, I think we're gonna probably do 8s out of this. There we go. We're bouncing on VWAP nice and slow. Let's see 8s out of this. Let's see 610. There we go. There we go. 610. Let's break back up over this 650. Volume is good. We had a lot of buyers at VWAP over here. Actually, we had nice volume around VWAP. We should have a bunch of chasers coming to buy the 650. That's really what I want. I want some chasers to buy this area, and I want to sell into them as we go back up. That's the strategy here. So I want to sell into the chasers that buy over 650. Having my 650 order ready or higher to sell. ABVC, we're the best one so far. Currently up like $1,000 on it. Let's see if we can get up to over 650. Chasers are coming up. Getting my market order as soon as I see. Let me get 660 exit. 660 is my 650, 662. Let's see 662. There we go. Planning my exit at 662. Order is set to sell at 662. There we go, 650, selling to this pre-market high break. There we go, we got 650, 662, all out of my position. We're halted up, and I sold most of my position. Thank you very much. That was a huge trade for me. There we go. That is a huge trade for me. Um, all out of ABVC. Great trade overall. Congratulations if you took part of this. I made an overall of 3K on that trade, just trading it back and forth. All out at ABVC. All out. Cashed out around, it was around a 3K win. Trading it with around 4,000 shares was pretty good. That was a great trade. Thank you very much. The star of the show. Despite the fact that I took a 1K loss, I did make 3,500 on that trade. Pretty low risk, I would have to say. But I made a total of 70 cents per share. 70 cents a share is around a 10% gain. Very happy with that position. Very happy how that trade worked out. And you're just gonna have to cut your losses quickly. WRNT was not what I had in mind. You really have to cut. But ABVC might go higher than I expect, but made my money and left. That's the name of the game. I'm just coming in to take my predictable 10%. And I mean, it could go to 8 for all I know, but I want to take my predictable meat of the move. And just don't overstay your welcome because the market can flip on you at any time, and that could be a fake out breakout. So be careful out there, guys. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There's that fake out breakout that I was talking to you guys about. So being extremely safe. Um, we'll see what we can get. My P&L window capture. Let's see what we can get. My let's see what we can get. My window capture. Sold most of my position. Window capture. There it is. Let's see, we can zoom in a bit. There you go. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't have. We got a long. You got WRNT. You got WRNT here. I chased WRNT. I actually lost 30 cents a share. I was pretty much trying with 3,000 shares. So 3,000 shares, and I actually fat fingered ABVC instead of selling half of ABVC. I actually pretty much let's see, we can, instead of selling half ABVC, I actually see, we can get all this together now. There we go. Instead of selling half at like 620, I added. So that was pretty terrible there. So, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So, that was a great trade overall, I would have to say. Right now, take your predictable meat of the move and just leave. That's what I do. Ugh. Take your predictable meat of the move and just leave. Um, so, the live day trading session